Good morning, students. Today I am going to take the rest of the portions in file handling. Scanner and print writer class. The scanner class is used to read the values of various types. Scanner class is used to read the values or input the values from the console. The scanner class is defined within a Java package java.util. It allows you to input the values from either the keyboard or the file. The scanner class necessarily needs JDK 1.5 or more versions. The input system packages import util.import java.util.star. That is, star means multiple files or multiple packages. Import java.util.scanner, import java.util.printer, etc. Scanner classes and printer classes. Okay. Then creating scanner object. How to create a scanner object? Scanner object name equals new scanner of system.in. Scanner object name equals new scanner of system.in. Scanner class. SC scanner object. New operator. Scanner of system.in, that is a constructor. System.in and system.out, system.error. These are three methods. Okay. Declare an object of type scanner, say SC. And now the new keyword can be used to have dynamic declaration of the scanner object. Dynamic declaration of the scanner object. Okay. Then advantages of input through scanner class. User may not need to mention set of data being input from the console. The end of data elements can be determined through a special token. Input stream reader and buffered reader are not required to be included. Program logic is simple because scanner class has various methods to manipulate input data. String manipulation is quite easier as each word can be obtained as a token and can be managed separately. It provides an easier approach to read records from a data file. These are the advantages of input through scanner class. Then tokens in a text line. Tokens. What are the different tokens? First one, next int of. It accepts the next token from the scanner object that can be expressed as an integer value. Next int of to read an integer value. Scanner object dot next int of. Scanner object dot next int of. And next token is next float of. And it accepts the next token that can be expressed as a floating type value. Next float of to read a floating type value. Scanner object dot next float of. And next token as next long of. This method accepts the next token expressed as a long type value and stores it into a long type variable. Syntax: long variable name equals scanner object dot next long of. That is long p equals sc dot next long of. Then next double of. Next double of method accept the next token that can be expressed as a double data value and store it into a double data type variable. Double variable equals scanner object dot next double of. Then double p is equal to sc dot next double of. And next token is next of. And this method accepts the next token from the scanner object as a string. Next of method is used to accept a string. A token can be defined by a set of characters between two simultaneous while space and delimiters. Simultaneous white space or delimiters. Scanner object name equals object name dot next of. The string variable name equals scanner object name dot next of. Next line of. And the applications of next of is a single word and next line of to read a line of text. The rest of the part of the text line can be obtained as a token by using next line of method. In case next of method is not applied before the next line of method results in entire line or text. And the next token is Boolean has next. Boolean has next end of, and this function returns true if the next token is expressed as an integer value. Otherwise returns false. Boolean has next end of. Syntax: Boolean variable equals scanner object name dot has next end of. The next token as an integer data. Example: Boolean b is equal to int dot has next end of. If b is equal to true, system.out.println next token is an integer. Boolean has next long of. This function returns true if the next token is expressed as a long type value. Syntax: Boolean variable equals scanner object dot has next long of. Boolean variable equals object name dot has next long of. That means the next token has a long data type to check whether it is long data or not. If Boolean variable name equals true, that is b is equal to true, system.out.println next token is a long type, otherwise not a long type. And next method is Boolean has next float of, and this function returns true if the next token is expressed as a float type value, otherwise returns false. Syntax: Boolean variable equals scanner object dot has next float of. That means the next token has a float type or not. System if Boolean b is equal to true, system.out.println the next token is a float type. Okay, and another method is has next double of. This method returns true if the next token is expressed as a long type value, otherwise returns false. Syntax: Boolean variable equals scanner object dot has next to double of. That means if the accepted value is a double data type or not, to check whether it is double data or not. For example, Boolean b is equal to c dot has next to double of. That means if b is equal to true, system.out.println next token is a double data type, else system.out.println not a double data type. Another method is has next Boolean of, and check whether it is a Boolean data type or not. Boolean data type or not. This function returns true if the next token is expressed as a Boolean type. Boolean has next Boolean of. The scanner class is also a Boolean, and the next wrapper class is also Boolean. Boolean has next Boolean of. The next token as a Boolean type or not. Boolean b is equal to has next Boolean of. This is the syntax. And variable name b, check whether it is true, it is a Boolean data, otherwise false, otherwise not a Boolean. Next method is has next of, and this function returns true if the scanner object has another token, otherwise returns false. If the scanner object has another token, if the scanner object has another token, that is has next of. A Boolean variable equals scanner object dot has next of. Example: Boolean b is equal to sc dot has next of. If b is equal to true, the scanner object is a next token, otherwise not next token. Okay, Boolean has next line of. This function returns true if the scanner object has another line in its input, otherwise returns false. If the Boolean variable is a next line of, that is a next line of text. If the Boolean variable is a line of text, check whether it is a line of text or not. If it is true, then returns the scanner object has next line, otherwise not a next line. Then file operations. There are so many operations in the scanner class. operations: opening a file. First one, opening a file. Second, reading from a file. And third one, detecting end of file. First one, opening a file, and second one, reading from a file, and third one, detecting end of file. Opening a file means to create a file and just open it. For example, scanner object equals new scanner of file name, new file of file name. Scanner object equals new scanner of new file of file name. For example, scanner F1 is equal to new scanner of new file of name.txt. That is, name.txt will be opened. Okay. Then, reading information from a file. Reading information from a file, that means when you create a file and that file should be opened and then take the contents from that file. Okay, let the file with the file named names.txt has been created. That contains name and total mark. Scanner S is equal to new scanner of new file of name.txt. While s dot has next of, while s dot has next of, name is equal to sc dot next of, total is equal to sc dot next int of. Okay, then system dot out of println name total, name total. Then detecting end of file. Detecting end of file, that means to check whether the contents from the end of file or not. When you are reading information from a file, you may not know the number of records it contains. And at last, if you taken the file or data from the end of file, how to check it? The end of file or not? To check the cursor position at the end or not. Example, while scanner object dot has next of, while scanner object dot has next of, reading from the file, reading from the file, reading the data. For example, names.txt contains two data, student name and total marks. And we have to take the number of records from this names.txt and you check that name from the last record or total mark from the last record. How to check it? Using the end of file command. Okay. Write a program write a program to accept a sentence and find the frequency of a word present in the string using string tokenizer. String tokenizer. Public class word, static void main of string str comma string wd, string str comma string wd. And this program we have already learned in the string functions. Finds the frequency of the word. Okay. Do you remember that program? Otherwise, you check it in the string classes. Okay, string chapter. Public static void main of string str comma string wd, curly bracket, string tokenizer object equals new string tokenizer of str. That means to read a string and read a word. Int c is equal to 0. String str1, that is string str1 is a new string variable, while st dot has more token of, that is more than one word in the sentence or not. str1 is equal to st dot next token of. str1 is the next token to check whether it is a next token or not. Next token of. If wd dot equals of str1, str1 is the words taken from the sentence, each word taken from the sentence. If wd dot equals of str1, if wd dot equals of str1, then counter plus plus, that is c is equal to c plus 1. Close bracket. System dot out of println, the frequency of word is the C. Frequency of word is C. Close brackets. Frequency of word is See. Okay, students, you read the textbook thoroughly and write some problems uh, based on the string. Next class, I will give some problems. Okay, thank you.